Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. ArchieLuxury from the ArchieLuxury channel, the Paul Pluta channel, and ArchieLuxury corporate. Guys, keep watching. Keep watching. I need the viewers. I need the viewers. I need the subs. I need it. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell your friends, whether you like them or hate them. Just tell them anyhow. ArchieLuxury on YouTube. Hi guys, it's Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3, and today I'm doing a paid review. This is paid review 20, SE24. This is for Anthony, and what am I wearing today? Well, I'm actually going to put it on. I'm going to strap on the baby now. Bike it. I'm going to put on my 5196. One of the most, just love this watch. It's a gold Calatrava, just classic Patek Philippe. Okay guys, let's jump straight in to this review here. Hi Arch, I've been a big fan of your channel and decided to go ahead and do a collection review. I've sent you $50 US via PayPal, and I'm attaching a photo of my current lineup for reference. Feel free to use my first name for the purposes of your video, but please block out my last name. No one's got any balls these days. You know, I don't understand it. Okay, let's have a look. Rolex. First watch is a Rolex Submariner 16610 LV. This was my first luxury watch, purchased in 2013. Before they command the current premiums, I've been tempted to sell given the prices these go for now, but the watch has sentimental value and I would rather pass it on to my son. Fair enough. Number two, a Rolex Explorer 114270. My second luxury watch, purchased in 2018 to commemorate a career milestone. I wanted something smaller and more discreet than the Submariner. I love the history and just how cool this watch is, despite being fairly small and simple. I much prefer the 36 to the 39 version. This watch sent me down the collecting rabbit hole, and remains my favorite piece from my collection. Number three, we've got a Rolex Datejust Oyster Quartz 17013. I've always admired the Datejust despite them being ambiguous. To me, the Oyster Quartz represents a very high chapter in Swiss watchmaking and Rolex history, and I feel that it is still an underrated watch amongst collectors. I managed to find a late serial full set from original owner and jumped on it. Next, we've got a Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Classic Medium. Not much to say. One of the most enduring designs in horology with a great history behind it. I purchased matching Reversos for myself and my wife to commemorate a wedding anniversary and plan on getting them engraved. I bought the classic medium for myself and the classic small quartz for her. Then we've got a Cartier Santos Galbi XL. I acquired this watch as part of a trade and have grown to love it. It's very versatile while also being quite a refined and unpretentious watch. This is my favorite iteration of the modern Santos line, and I think it pairs well with the Reverso. And finally, Rolex Air King 116900. My most recent purchase, I was looking to buy a 36mm Datejust 126200 black dial domed bezel Jubilee bracelet, but my AD said he got one of these in and I jumped on it instead. It's another model I feel is very unique and highly underrated. Despite it being larger and bulkier than what I typically prefer, I've really been enjoying this piece. I would be very interested to know what you think of my collection of watches individually and as a whole. As you can see, I prefer smaller, more classically styled watches as opposed to large, flashy pieces. I've owned several other watches, including the Zenithal Primero, Omega Seamaster 300, Omega Speedmaster Professional, several Grand Seikos, and a couple of other 5- and 6-digit Rolexes. so I have a good understanding of what I like and dislike. I would still love to have the Datejust 126200, and I'm considering moving the Santos in order to acquire it, but worry that would make my collection too homogeneous. I'm trying to keep my collection at 6 watches, so if I get the Datejust, something else would have to go. Let me know what you think. Your feedback is appreciated, and thanks in advance. Okie dokie. Anthony, thank you, Anthony. I do like this type of review here. What a cool story. I love it, Anthony. I really do think this is it's a good collection. The thing I love most about it is the fact that you've gone into the hobby. Each piece tells a story. That's a really cool thing to do. I think the story part is very important in the ownership experience. That's the whole thing there. Just having a look at the photo there, and I got to say, firstly, let's just go through piece by piece. Firstly, we've got the Kermit. Wow, well done. No, don't sell it. And I was somebody who actually had a 1016 Explorer 1. Look, once you sell it, you'll never buy it back. It is a cool watch. That was times I had. I mean, hey, you can't keep everything. I'm just wearing a beautiful Patek at the moment, and I love that watch. I got to be honest with you. Don't sell it. It's a beautiful watch. I think the green on the bezel complements the Air King. It's funny how you put that in the box like that there. So that is really beautiful. The Explorer 1, I got to tell you, there's something about the smaller sizes. I got to tell you, when they make them bigger, they don't just the size kind of, when something is smaller. Years ago, I had an octagonal Santos. Okay, so when the Santos came out in the late 70s, they had an octagonal version. And it was a mid-size. And I got to tell you, as a mid-size, the size wasn't a big thing then, but the octagonal shape looked beautiful. That size doesn't work in a bigger size. So sometimes the small, I completely get the size thing. I tend to think if you've got the 36, there's nothing wrong with the 36. I think it's a great piece there. And you've got the Air King as a 40. So you've got some great diversity there. The oyster quartz, look, I would say the oyster quartz, the only danger is with the oyster quartz is that quartz thing. It's getting harder to get parts for them. But you've got a really nice one. Hey, take a punt. That's quite okay. The ArchieLuxury. That's a great watch. I would have gone for the bigger one. I think the grand size is kind of, I actually had what they call it the classic size. For me, it's probably a little bit too small. But for you, hey, it's probably fine. I got to tell you, the Santos Galbi XL, that is beautiful. Looking at your box there, it really stands out. And Cartier, it's all about the design. The design is where Cartier is. It's not about the movement. Patek is a movement. You buy the Patek for the movement. You buy Cartier for excellent design. That's what you buy that for. And finally, the Air King. Beautiful. So I got to tell you, the collection really does gel together. I think it's quite a beautiful collection. I really do like it. You've got 4 Rolexes, a Cartier, and a ArchieLuxury Reverso. Man, these are some very, very classic watches. Now, I gotta be honest with you. As a collection, I'm looking at your photo. It's beautiful. I love the Kermit because the green also goes with the Air King. I love the Santos. The whole collection is beautiful. They're really beautiful collections. I think the collection is greater than the sum of the parts. Okay, that's my view. So that's a pretty damn good thing there. Now you're saying you've had some interesting pieces. Yep, Yep. I would say to you, you remember this. If you got 6 in the box, 1 on the wrist. 6 in the box and 1 on the wrist. So that if you've got a box with 6, that means you can have 7 because you've got to wear one whilst you're looking at this box. So my opinion is, I've got to be totally honest with you. I think sometimes rules are meant for breaking. Okay, rules are meant to be broken. I would say to you, so you'd like to know what I think of your collection of watches. I think they're beautiful. I think as a collection, it really does pop. Now, what you're saying is, I'm trying to keep the collection at 6. So what would I do? Look, seriously, I wouldn't sell the Cartier. I think the Cartier is beautiful. It's a bit of difference there. I really think the Cartier is gorgeous. I don't really think the answer is to flip things to buy other things. I got to be totally honest with you. If you want to add a date, just add a date. Just don't cull the Cartier. The Cartier is beautiful. Yeah, you haven't mentioned what you paid, whether you bought it new or second hand. I don't know how you went there, but if you would have bought that new, I can tell you now, you're going to lose money. If you bought it pre-owned, hey, that's actually the XL Gal B is actually quite an attractive watch. It's beautiful. I wouldn't sell it. I would be keeping it. That's what I would do. I think you've got to keep it. That's what I would do. I would be keeping it. I don't like. See, the problem is you start flipping these things, and just keep the stupid thing. Okay, I wouldn't buy another Cartier. I honestly would say to you, you want to add the date, just add the date. Just sometimes you can be too caught up in these stupid rules, okay? But believe you me, I would not be flip. What are you going to do with the Cartier? Okay, flip it, then you go, man. If you want to buy the date, just buy the date. Just don't be selling pieces to pay for the next one. I mean, unless you really know what you're doing, I wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I honestly I think it's a mistake to flip to pay for the next one. If you can't afford to buy the Datejust, well, just keep what you've got. If you want to buy the Datejust, well, that's another story. But to trade it in, you're gonna. I think you're gonna miss it. Why do that? You just get bored. I think looking at that box there, I like a bit of diversity. I wouldn't say collect Cartiers. That's not what I'm saying. But you know, looking at the picture, it just pops. It's a nice watch. Keep it, enjoy it. So I think sometimes rules are meant to be broken. Remember, it's 6 in the box and 1 on the wrist because you want to take the photo with a watch on your wrist. So 6 is actually 7. Remember that, okay? So that's the way I'd go. Datejust, do I think that's a good mix to add to that there? Sure. Datejust is always that's a great watch. It's a cool watch. Yeah, I wouldn't really. I'd keep it. I mean, I just look at this collection. I see a lot of collections. You think, oh, okay, but your collection really looks nice. I even like the Cartier. So, I mean, sometimes you don't want to go crazy in these other brands, but you got some really nice Rolex. That's cool because that's a quality piece, and you got a JLC, and you got a Cartier. Yeah, cool. You don't want to overdo it with Cartier, but just a smidgen of it, it's kind of cool. And I don't know if the Datejust is that great to replace the Cartier. Cartier is about the design, and this is the thing, it's the design excellence. That's why you buy Cartier. So yeah, that's my advice. Tell me what happens. Anthony, thank you so much there. I really appreciate it. And guys, remember, Archie can't survive on Google Ads alone. No, I need these paid reviews to keep me full time. That's exactly right. I really I need these paid reviews. Without these paid reviews, I would sink. Okay? Without these paid reviews, it makes it very, very hard. It makes it hard. And that's the whole thing. You got to remember. Paid reviews, this is bread and butter for me. Google Ads, it's difficult. Okay? Google Ads, let me tell you this. Google Ads is difficult. Okay? Google's not paying well. People aren't advertising. So I really do need these Googles. I need the paid reviews. So please, guys, look down below. $50 US. Look down below. PayPal me. And I will do a review for you. See you later. Hi, guys. ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, Archie Luxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.